I just couldn't get enough of you all today, so I'm making 4 videos instead of the standard 3. And I've just been having too much fun doing it. So, if you have time, great. Let's go ahead and dive into this one. This is the news for today. And amazingly, there's massive, massive amounts of news for a Saturday, and it's quite exciting and fun. So let's take a look at what we got here. Let's start with, oops, I got to go all the way to the top here. Let's start with Mike Pat 711. He says, I think this is the right call. I think that 14.1.2 could go to everyone who is reading this post because you're all FSD super users. But after riding with my girlfriend last night, who does not give and not interested in FSD until it's unsupervised, she said she thought it was worse than 13 because of the jitters. You just don't want to have any jittery behavior in a demo vehicle to show people who haven't ever experienced self-driving before. He says it is most certainly way better than 13 in every way outside of this, but to the average person who doesn't pay close attention, smoothness is everything. This version, without jittery behavior, is God's mode and probably takes the safety operator out in Austin, at least from everything I've seen so far. Elon Musk responded to this post and said, Tesla AI, 14.2 for widespread use. So we're sitting at 14.1.2. Will there be any other point like 14.1.3s before 14.2, or will 14.2 be coming soon? We don't know any of that. All we know is that 14.2 is the one that Elon believes will go wide. And Elon, ever present today, and yesterday and today, he's been very, very active on X. He says this, he says, the Tesla cars operating in the boring company tunnels under Las Vegas will be driverless in a month or two. It's actually been weird. I've thought that they would be driverless a long time ago, but glad to hear that they're going to be driverless. Sawyer Merritt thought, look, this is nice. Over 4,000 people ride in the boring company's Las Vegas Loop tunnel every day. So this will expose a ton of people to FSD who have never experienced it before. Again, Elon being active, he reposted this from Mario Knopfel. Mario says, listen, Tesla Autopilot beats human drivers by a mile. New data, brand new data out, shows that Tesla's Autopilot might actually be a better driver than, well, you. According to Tesla's 2025 safety report, cars using Autopilot only crash about once every 6.69 million miles, a rate of 0.15 crashes per million miles. For comparison, human drivers crash at 1.42 per million miles, and even Teslas without Autopilot hit 1.04. Even Waymo's self-driving cars, which have an impressive record, average 0.2 crashes per million miles. Now that's 0.21 compared to Tesla at 0.15. And so that's even better. Anyway, in short, Mario says humans equal crashy. Tesla Autopilot equals chill. So next time someone says they don't trust robots on the road, remind them that the robots are 10 times less likely to wreck your car. Investors Business Daily, talking about the stock, said Tesla stock has been respecting its 21-day exponential moving average. That's a new one. After a strong rally. From a longer-term perspective, the weekly chart for Tesla stock shows a giant cup with a handle base with a $470.45 buy point. Now, we've been talking about that like all week, this cup and handle. Apparently, chartists really like cups and handles. And this 470 and 45-cent buy point has been mentioned many, many times. But the handle started forming October 2nd when Tesla plunged 5% in heavy volume. It fell again in heavy volume the following day, though it firmed up by the close, but big sellers were in the stock again on October 10. The heavy volume in the current handle makes it flawed because ideal handles should drift lower in light volume. Tesla's stock gapped down on July 24th when the company reported second quarter results that missed expectations. Adjusted profit fell 23% year over year to 40 cents a share, below views for 43 cents by many. Revenue fell 12% to $22.5 billion, just below the $22.7 billion consensus. Earlier this month, Tesla says second quarter deliveries fell 14% to 384,000 vehicles. What would this be? What is he talking about? Well, second quarter, of course, 384,000. But third quarter deliveries looked much better, up 7.4 to a record 497,099 vehicles. The big increase in buying demand comes ahead of the September 30th expiration of the $7,500 federal electric vehicle tax credit. What about energy storage? Also, during the most recent quarter, Tesla deployed a record, as we know, 12.5 gigawatt hours of energy storage. In all of 2024, Tesla deployed 31.4 already, more than double 2023's total of 14.7. We've got a whole quarter to go. Several factors have weighed on Tesla's EV business, including soft sales in Europe, as well as growing supply of more affordable vehicles from China-based competitors. I don't think the China-based competitors are slowing Tesla down a bit. I would definitely look more to the United States and Europe. But Tesla investors remain optimistic about the company's nascent robotaxi business, which is available in limited capacity in Austin and San Francisco. It will be a meaningful revenue generator down the line, along with Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot. So these guys get it. Results from Tesla are due Wednesday after the close. Revenue should increase 4% to $26.3 billion, but profit is expected to decline for the fourth straight quarter, down 24% from the year earlier period to 54 cents a share. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. So I guess we must have made about 70 cents last year. I think we have a real shot at beating that number. All right, this is from Dalty Brewer. Breaking: the Tesla Model Y is now sold out in China until December. So we have 6 weeks backlog on the Model YL in China. And he says demand is off the charts. A shocking thing just happened. I have found myself agreeing with Kamala Harris. She says she thought it was a big mistake not to invite Elon Musk to the White House when the Biden administration did that big EV event. Here he is, she says, a major American manufacturer of extraordinary innovation in the space and in space too. And the fact that he was not invited on merit, a president of the United States, I believe, has to put aside political loyalties. Go figure. I don't know what to say. Farsiness says about that. He says Kamala Harris apologized to Elon Musk. That he's counting that as an apology. It's a massive de-risk long-term for Musk Industries. There's a courting process happening on both sides of the political spectrum. They both realize that Musk Industry will be a massive boom to the U.S. economy. Already is. This clears the pathway for Musk Industry to be treated fairly. I don't know why he keeps calling it Musk Industry. And one could say advantageously in regulatory environments, regardless of who is in office. What does this mean? Clear pathway for robotaxi everywhere. Clear pathway for hundreds of Starship launches per year. Already seeing that. We've already seen some approvals for more of the regular rockets for next year. In another epic Musk move, Elon Musk says now listen to this. Come on now. This is big. This is Elon Musk quoting specifically. A buggy beta version of Grokapedia, Volume 1, will be released on Monday. I wonder what Volume 1 means. Does that mean A? Just the A portion? I don't know. But Volume 1 will be released on Monday. He says even this very early release is better on average than Wikipedia in his opinion. We will be looking for as much critical feedback as possible. So wonder how the volumes are going to be done. Is it going to be by category? Maybe we'll have a physics volume and we'll have a chemistry volume. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, on Monday. But that is super exciting. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐲. This would be Chuck, the pilot guy. Why? I have so much trouble with his name. I don't know why I can't remember. I'll remember his last name and then I can't remember his first name and then vice versa. Anyway, he says, what? Does this have a potential for FSD learning in real time? Remembering between training builds, actually learning on board? Is this a technology breakthrough? This is in response to, and then Elon Musk says, replying to Roy 5661-6589 and Chat GPT 21, dynamic reinforcement learning is important. So here's a new AI term for us to learn. Dynamic reinforcement learning. We've been hearing about reinforcement learning, but he's added a new adjective here. Dynamic reinforcement learning is important. Grok 5, like smart humans, will learn almost immediately. And that's what Chuck was responding to. Chuck Smith? No, that's wrong. Anyway, all right. This is Randy Kirk. Please do what you're supposed to do. Many, many likes. We need lots and lots of likes. I need more subscribers. If you're not subscribed yet, ask yourself a very important question. Why not? S&P 500 quarter 3 2025 earnings update. Earnings season for the third quarter of 2025 is well underway, with approximately 58 to 60 companies in the S&P 500. That's about 12% of the index having reported results so far. You see, I wanted to ask Grok. I wanted to see, so I'm going to do this big show tomorrow night. You should definitely show up for it. This will be after my regular Monday morning show that's on Sunday night. And this will be like at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. I'll post it as the games are running out for the day. And in that one, I'm going to just look at every aspect of where we are right now, especially on the equities, but I'll look at some of the other, asset classes as well, obviously bonds. But anyway, I wanted to see, where are we in terms of the earnings season so far? How's it looking? Because if we have these high PE ratios for the entire S&P, we got to be able to grow into those. If we don't grow into those, then the S&P will collapse. I mean, it just will. That you can count on that. So the beat rate has been exceptionally strong, with 86% of the companies exceeding EPS expectations. 86%. Normally, you're happy to have 80, 81, 82. Those are really good numbers. 86% exceeding expectations. He says, in fact, the long-range average, this is Grok that I had do this, well above the long-term average of 67 to 75. So the average is 67 to 75. And again, a good number is 80, 81, 82. This positive surprise aggregate stands at about 5.9% above estimates. So it's not just that it's 86%, it's that it's also 5.9% above estimates. The current blended earnings growth estimate, the blended year-over-year EPS growth rate, which combines actual reported earnings from companies that have disclosed results with analyst estimates for those yet to report, is currently estimated at 8.5 to 9.3 for the full S&P 500 index. Excluding the energy sector, which is dragging down overall figures because of the decline in the cost of oil, FactSet estimates 8.5 blended year-over-year growth, up from 7.7 a week ago. So it's increasing weekly. And LSEG Refinity estimate is 9.3%. This would mark the 9th consecutive quarter of positive year-over-year earnings growth if realized. Reported companies so far are showing higher aggregate earnings than estimated, with 7 of the 11 sectors led by information technology, financials, utilities, and materials, projecting year-over-year increases, while 4 sectors, including energy, consumer staples, show decline. Analyst insights and historical patterns have this. Analyst revisions have been mixed. Positive surprises in sectors like financials have boosted the overall estimate, but downward tweaks in healthcare have partially offset those. Looking ahead, however, analysts project continued growth, 7.5% for quarter 4, 11.9% for quarter 1, and 12.8% for quarter 2, with full year's 2025 earnings growth at 11%. I think the S&P is on solid ground. That doesn't mean I think it can keep going up at the level that it's been going up. I've picked 7,100 for the end of the year. I have not given you a number for 2025 yet, 6 yet. We'll see. Given the elevated beat rate and historical trends where actual earnings have exceeded estimates in 37 of the past 40 quarters, often by 5.7 to 7.9 percentage points, the final realized average earnings increase could significantly outperform the current blended figure. So we could be looking at, well, okay, FactSet's analysis suggests it may end up at 13% for quarter three, and potentially even higher than that, extending the streak of double-digit growth quarters. In summary, while the current blended estimate points to 8%, 8.5 to 9.3, strong early reportings suggest that and outstanding analyst forward guidance indicate the final outcome could be notably higher, potentially in the mid-teens. Keep an eye on major reports like from the Magnificent Seven tech giants this week, as they represent a large portion of the index earnings weight, and Tesla will be showing a beat. I'm almost 100% sure. All right, as I mentioned, my Truflation is getting more and more sophisticated with their numbers, so I'm going to be reporting more. So they have 2.24 is the overnight, just the regular old, that's what it would be if it was reported tomorrow, but 2.14 for the core. So lower on the core, that's not what we've been seeing. We've got lower number on the core than we've got on the regular, the headline number. You got 2.37 for the PCE, which is the thing that the Fed cares about. And are you ready for this? On goods inflation, also 2.24. There's only one thing that we can look at over the weekend to see how markets might be doing on Monday. And recently, Bitcoin hasn't been that good of an indicator anyway. But let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin for whatever we can learn from it. And right now we've got Bitcoin up 627, barely up 107,163. So that's all we've got. That would be a positive sign. I certainly wouldn't call that a negative sign. Okay, now this morning I did two videos. The first one had Grok estimating the EPS for Tesla for December 2026. It was amazing. Amazing what Grok came up with. You realize Grok is way better at estimating or predicting than you and I are for multiple reasons. In fact, I'll even explain those reasons in the second video that I did this morning. Maybe I did it in both. I can't remember. Wait a minute. Yes, I think I did. Anyway, doesn't matter. I explain it in one of them. So watch both, then you'll get it for sure. Anyway, then I did another video where Grok said there were five huge catalysts still this year. Well, counting January 2nd, so slightly into next year. Those are going to happen in the next 10 weeks, 5. That's like one catalyst every other week. And some of those catalysts are definite, and a couple of them are, maybes. The biggest one, which is a maybe, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to go back and watch it. And in one case, the increase could be extremely high. I mean, way bigger than just 3% or 5%. Yeah, big. And by the way, Grok agrees with me. So if you've been watching the channel on a regular basis, you know what I expect the biggest catalyst to be. Those cards, both cards, the morning and the morning and the midday cards will be up right there. And tonight I got Phil Beisel. He's going to take another deep dive into FSD and talk about how transformational the chip is and how it really represents a convergence of technologies. It couldn't have even happened. It couldn't have been done just 3 years ago. So very, very good time with Phil. Tomorrow, we'll see. Well, I told you one of them. The night one is going to be this analysis of the entire, stock market and where we're sitting compared to the economy, et cetera. Regular Sunday night show called Monday Morning. Call it Monday Morning is because we're going to describe what's going to happen the following week. Is it, like, for instance, is the government going to open next week now that the No King's Day has passed? And then tomorrow morning it might be CERN Basher, but I haven't heard from him, so I'm not sure. All right, that's all I got for you right now. It has been great talking to you.